Hello everyone. So today I will discuss with you my TCS Prime interview experience. So I have given TCS Prime in 2025 and I was selected for that role, but I haven't accepted that offer because I had a better offer. Let's not discuss about that. Let's discuss how is the interview, what was my interview experience with TCS and how it went and all the other stuffs that you need to know, right? So before I jump into the directly to the interview experience, let me quickly walk you through the sections and what are the problems that are asked. So if you look at this, there are two sections. Part A, which is the foundation section, right? And it has total 75 minutes. It is mandatory for ninja role, but if you think closely, I will give you how what are the like how many problems you need to solve, right? So how many problems you need to solve and how many coding problems you need to solve for every role, right? So in 2026, if you look now, the competition is very tough. It's not tough actually, it is very huge, right? The number of applicants have gone up by a huge number, right? Because 2024, 25 and 26, these three batches are eligible this time, right? So I'm not creating a panic over this, but try to be a bit like from the rest of the year, try to give extra efforts this time, right? So let me quickly jump you to the sections. What are the problems asked? So first one is numerical ability, reasoning ability and verbal ability. So numerical ability is nothing but they will give you some maths problems, right? The problems that I faced in 2025 were not as tough, like they were simple problems. Moreover, when you look closely on the side of the screen, you will get a calculator as well. So if you have any like a big maths problem comes, so you can use the calculator as well. So the numerical ability problem, from what I saw like in the past, I have seen the previous year problems as well. The numerical ability problems aren't tough, right? They are easy problems, right? Let's move to the next part. The next part is reasoning ability. So this section also is a bit easy medium part, right? These are not tough ones, so you will be easily cracking these problems, right? And if you look at this, 20 questions from both sections, so try to solve, because there is no negative marking, try to solve all of them, right? If you are on short of time, just take a random guess, but don't leave any problems, right? Then is the verbal ability, that is nothing but English problems, right? You will get comprehension and all. So that is also 25 questions, and these three sections ultimately are easy medium sections, right? These three are easy medium, so that won't be a big job for you. The important thing is to look at that there are total of 65 questions, right? So out of 65 questions, try to solve at least from your end. You should mark all 65 problems, but try to get a sure shot of at least 45 plus problems, because competition is also tough and you need to be on a safer side. So try to solve 45 problems, and trust me, these will be easy problems. You will be easily able to solve 45 problems, right? So this was the main foundation section. Now comes the main part. The main part is advanced section, and it contains advanced logical quants, but that is nothing but advanced maths, right? A bit tough maths, like the problems will be a bit more numerical based. And then comes the ultimate thing, that is advanced coding, right? So let me quickly walk through how advanced coding is done. So there will be two problems, right? And out of these two problems, the first one, right, I will share the problems that I have got. If you want that, you can like give me the in comments, you can ask. I will surely try to make the video on those as well. So the first problem is an easy one, right? And you need to solve it in 30 minutes. And the second one is a bit medium to tough question, right? So the second question is medium to tough, right? And for that you will most probably get 45 minutes to 60 minutes, right? Depending on if the pattern has changed. So these will be the this will be the pattern for that, right? Now let me say you that if you want to crack the prime rule, right, what I have done is, the first problem was the easy one, right? I solved the first problem, and The second problem which I got was a DB problem, and by God's grace, I have solved that problem as well. But you don't need to solve both problems for prime role. I have seen many of my friends who have appeared from this for the same exam day, and they have solved the first problem, and in the second problem, they solved like out of nine test cases, they had passed three or four test cases. So uh, I'm giving a small hack for this. If you, even if you are like, if you don't know that what will be the solution, you don't have the ultimate answer, then out of that nine test cases, there will be 9 or 12 test cases only, right? So try to manually return the value. See, this is not a fair thing to do, but if you think that you can like use a bit of your thought, then think of this. You can manually return some values for some test cases, right? Like I shouldn't be telling you these, but if let's say if n is equal to 3, and you, in that sample test case it was given, so let's say the answer should be returned, let's say 5, right? So you can simply manually do this, right? And if n equal to 2, you are returning, let's say, to return 7, right? So by this you can pass at least few test cases, right? This is not to be on fair, this is not a correct way, but if you like feel, if you don't get any hopes, then you might try this, right? It's not suggested, but this has been done by a few of my friends, so I have idea that this works for them, right? So now let's talk about my interview experience, right? Now if you look at my CV resume, right? I have been solving problems on code forces and lead code. So I have been doing CP and I have done merge stack, right? So as soon as they got my CV, my interview was very late. It was at 7 p.m., right? So ultimately you can say I was the last one which uh, there, right? So my profile was CP plus Monstack. So there in that interview room there will be three persons or two persons. The first one will be asking problems based on DSA if you are for prime role, right? So if first one will be asking problems on DSA, second one will be asking from development role, right? Now if you look at my my case, right? What happened was, wait a second, in from my end what happened was, uh, first they start with the intro, right? They will start with the intro, you can continue your intro, do all the stuff, then they will slightly move, that they will ask what are the programming language that you have done, right? I have done C++, so they have asked few problems on C++, like what is a friend function, right? What is virtual key. There was some problems that they have asked. Don't clearly remember the problems, but the problems were based on oops concepts, right? So if you are learning like C++, Java, or Python, these are the basic three languages. So try to understand the concepts on oops, right? That will be very helpful for you, right? As soon as the first sir completed the C++ problems, the second sir jumped in and asked, okay, so you have done projects on Monstack? I said yes. So as soon as I said this now, he was like, okay, now let's make it to the development side and let's ask problems on Monstack. So he asked me all the problems that could be asked, right? Like first he said, okay, tell me the MongoDB query, right? He asked me to write few queries on MongoDB. Then he said, you have written, I have mentioned SQL in my resume. So he said, then write few SQL queries as well. After that, he said, okay, let's say you are designing a login system, right? What is the logic that you can use, right? If you are using login, right? What is the function of JWT, JSON Web Tokens, right? So he completely like he went all in that project. The topics which I have mentioned, the like I have mentioned, I won't be mentioning the projects. I'm mentioning like if the function, the project had a login system, a sign up system. So he went in deep and asked, how will you implement these, right? And after these, like when you will be able to answer these problems, then if he is satisfied, then he won't ask any problems, like okay, then he will say okay, if he is satisfied he won't ask any logic based problems, then he will move to the next part. from the second teacher only, right? And he will ask that why have you used Monstack? Like, what is the sole reason of using Monstack? Why not any other tech stack? Like, if you are using MongoDB, why using MongoDB? Why not SQL? Right? Why MongoDB? Why not SQL? Right? So you need to be prepared with all the pros and cons of using your tech stack and why not any other tech stack. So then after that, 5 minutes will be discussed on these topics, like why you have used this tech stack, why not other, what is the advantage of you using these, what is the disadvantage of using these. So you should be thorough with that, right? As soon as this was completed, so till now, as far as I remember, around 15 minutes of interview was done, right? 15 minutes was done, right? And the teacher seemed satisfied with me. But I have one more experience with you, right? My second friend, which has also appeared for the prime role, he also had the interview, and his interview went in the first half only. So he couldn't answer the problems that he was asked. So the teacher got little, like, he got funnier and asked him, okay, how will you implement the CSS in your project? Like, if you had a having a CSS file, how would you include that in your HTML file? So he went all basic for it, and the problems which he asked was a little funnier as well, because you can understand if the project is not made by you, still, let's say you made a project, right, and you don't have that much knowledge in it, right? Try to understand what is the project like. Many of us have seen that, I have also created a project that was not solely based, I have not you made all the functions in that, but you need to know, at least you need to know how you made it, right? You should, how you made it, you should be clear with it, right? How you made it, what, why you made it, right? So these things should be clear to you, right? So let's move on to my interview experience further. So after 15 minutes, the development sir was a bit satisfied. So he said, okay sir, now you can ask your questions. Now, as it was a prime rule, you will expect a DSA problem, right? And it's not any problem, they will ask algorithms, right? Like, I was asked to implement DFS, right? Depth first search, right? He asked me, how will you implement DFS? Now you need to write a solve or a solve DFS function that implements that DFS. So he will give you a page, you need to write that DFS function, and he will say you, okay, now do a dry run. Now do a dry run. See, for prime role they are offering 9 lakhs, right? So if they are offering this much package, then they expect you to be a bit more thorough with the topics. So you might expect, like, if I have to give some topics, Dijkstra's algorithm, right? Then DFS, BFS from graphs, a basic DP problem could also be asked, like, and few more important, like sort algorithms, right? You should be thorough with these, right, for prime rule, right? So then I solved that DSA problem as well. I explained, did a dry run as well, right? So the interviewer went, like, he said, okay, fine, you're good to go. Then came HR ma'am, and as it was 7 p.m. already, 7:30, like, after until this was completed, it was 30 minutes. So after these, ma'am asked few problems like, would are you open for relocation, and few basic HR stuffs, right? So you should be knowing how to answer these. You don't need to go deep into that. They will ask, like, are you open to relocation, are you open to night shift, right? And you need to answer yes. Don't answer in one word, yes I'm open for relocation, yes I'm open for night shift. Don't answer like that. uh, Frame that in a way that looks like, okay, you are really open for the relocation role and you won't be ditching them at the last moment, right? So these were the interview experience. If you want, like, more detailed, or like want a sheet or prepare how to prepare for the prime role, I would be more than happy to help you out. And if you have any more problems, like, if you want to make me to make a video on, like, what were the problems, coding problems that were asked, so I could make that as well. I have my friends coding problems that was asked as well. So I have those, like, 4 problems I have, and I can share that with you as well. So I hope I was able to help you out. If yes, please do subscribe, please give a like, and drop comments if you have uh, learned from this video or it was informative for you. Thanks for watching.